Nothing you have not heard before, you will hear. I'm not only talking about from me, you have heard, especially those who come here. You have sat through so many teachings from many, many masters. I just wanted to share one verses because there has been some requests for me to, I don't know, do some teachings. I don't know whatever that means. I feel that there's obligations. There's something called obligations. Students are obliged to request teachings, and then that obligations give birth to teachers feeling obliged to give teachings. That's how karma works. Nevertheless, this is supposedly a very special place. Vajra Asana. Supposedly, if we do something here, something that's related to malam, like aspiration. This particular location is supposedly very potent. It will make the malam, the aspiration, very potent, much more than elsewhere. Some say this is because an evil king beheaded something like 2 million bodhisattvas in one go, something like many, many eons before. And the bodhisattvas all unanimously did aspirations. Thousands of them aspired to become the teacher, and others volunteered to become patron, disciples, guardians, etc. So from then on, supposedly this location has become a special location for aspiration. But Buddhism always is full of, it's just completely full of one after another contradictions. There's a lot of paradoxes. You are very familiar with this. Sometimes they chant Heart Sutra, other times they make offerings of flowers, incense, and they are quite proud of doing this way, especially Nagarjuna and the followers. They always brag one thing, and really they brag this a lot. that because everything is illusory, because things do not exist inherently, therefore everything works. This is a big one. They love bragging about it. If even momentarily things stop being illusory, then everything will collapse. That's how the Madhyamikans think. Yes, so at times they talk about karma, the other times they talk about shunyata. Total paradoxy, total contradiction. So along that line, here under the Bodhi tree, what we have done, I'm sure some of you are not really participating in this. But anyway, in the morning and the afternoon, we have been doing two sets of practices. One is sort of a confession and also accumulation of merit by rejoicing in the beginning, and then followed by Samantabhadra's prayer, Pranidhana Raja, Bhavasambuchi Vimanam. And Pranidhana Raja, as many of you know, is last chapter of the very, very big sutra called Avatamsaka Sutra. The Avatamsaka Sutra is quite unique, very fascinating. It's actually a really, really good example of what I've just said earlier, that everything is illusory, therefore everything works. Avatamsaka Sutra really demonstrates that, really describe this so well. Anyway, in order to qualify what is Mahayana Buddhism, everything, every aspect of Mahayana, be it whether we are talking about view, whether we are talking about meditation, whether we are talking about action, there are three things it has to have, there are three characters it has to have. Buddhists love talking about the definitions. Generally, Buddhists say there are four seals that makes, four seals, or well, but Sharvakayana people may argue a little bit, saying three characters, which is also fine. But anyway, there are three things that really qualifies a path is a Mahayana path. And this is Yi Tongpanyi Lamtsama Meba Debumamba Meba. The ground is Shunyata. Path is characteristic less, and fruit, fruit or the result is beyond aspiration. So you can see already there's what a contradiction. Result, the fruit cannot be aspired. There's just so many statements like this. Even by Shantadeva, that I'm sort of introducing under the Bodhi tree in the afternoon, he said, for the time being, path dwellers can keep one ignorance for the time being. For why? Because you don't want to suffer. You don't want to go through pain. You want to transcend pain. Therefore, you are allowed to have one ignorance. And that ignorance is thinking that there's an enlightenment. Such are the statements you will find in the Mahayana everywhere. So, in this sense, the aspiration, the highest aspiration, if you like, is really learn to really shrug off even an intention of aspiration. That is the highest aspiration. Nothing to gain. But that is a really, really difficult. It's not difficult because the fruit is so complicated. It's nothing to do with that. It's just because you are already accustomed. You and me, we are accustomed by ideas like working hard, gaining fruit, purpose of life, I don't know, stages, the end, the result. We have this. Every small action we take. I mean, it would be nice if tonight you do something totally purposeless. It would be nice, but you try. You cannot do it unless you have some really, important, like you have received, technique such as Madhyamika, Mahasandhi, Mahamudra. There are instructions how to do that. How to really, how to really not do anything for some specific purpose. But anyway, as I said, it would be nice. Even when you walk out of this, if you don't have a specific aim to go, like restaurant or bedroom or schedule, if you don't have like from tomorrow, there's no schedules. Can you think about it? Impossible. Life will not function. And then our capitalist people have made sure that you don't think like this. I was reading an Englishman, I think he's English, this English. I haven't been talking badly about English for a long time. But because, I'm face to face here, so it just comes out. Anyway, I think is he an English? Mark Fisher? He's English? Okay. Well, Mark Fisher said, people can imagine end of the world, but people cannot imagine end of capitalism. So there you go. In a capitalist world, we just don't know how to do something that has no purpose. I mean, what do you think? The act of going circumambulating there, actually, the epitome of that action should be, no purpose, just going round and round. And it's the best thing you can do, actually. But because I can't tell somebody here, go to Bodh Gaya and aimlessly go round and round there, people won't do it. But then, so what do we symbolically say? Things like, the stupa represents the Ushnisha of